Yeah, if you search engine the term in-game trailer, you can see when I videotaped from 200 yards away, Queen Beatrix had a super zoom on the camera. And they tried to have police come out and tell the Canadian newspapers they couldn't be there taking photos. And the papers said, go ahead and arrest us. I mean, we got to say no to these bastards. But they got some kangaroo court they own and run in the Netherlands telling the Associated Press they can't take photos of them. I mean, you can't take photos of somebody in their backyard if it's got a fence. There is the perception of privacy. But if there's not the perception of privacy, you don't have it. Look, it just makes me mad. Gene in Georgia, go ahead, then others. Go ahead, Gene.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we got to move quick. Go ahead.
Okay. At notaxesnow.org, we've got a plan to take the money away from the international bankers. Eric Williams has a 28th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution to do just that. Basically what that is that instead of taxes being used to pay interest to the international bankers, interest should be used to pay all the taxes. And that's basically what the American Revolution was really all about with the colonial script and the 4 American Commonwealths that we have.
Yes, it was. I appreciate your call. For thousands of years, they've used the banking Ponzi scheme of fractional reserve to take over. We didn't have the income tax till 1913. All of the money you pay in income tax goes to interest to the private banks who give us the pleasure of printing our own money. An example of this is trillions are raised, trillions, every couple years just on truck driving taxes and freight taxes and tariffs. That's what really runs the government. The income tax was passed with the Federal Reserve Act. That's how they rape us. Now they're setting up the Bank of the World with a carbon tax to rape you even further. And I'm sure people are going to love it. Let's talk to Steve in Houston. Steve in Houston, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Alex. Hey, before I get to why I call, which is, this thing about back in Limbaugh versus you, I just want to say this. A couple weeks ago on your weekday show, you were talking about how this just grieves you and weighs you down, all this knowledge that you have, and you were asking for a specific scripture. It's in Ecclesiastes 1:18. It says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." So the more you learn about this stuff, man, I can totally understand why it weighs your heart down so much. And people that aren't into this or don't understand this, they have no understanding of why you're like this. And this leads me to what I wanted to say. Why are back in Limbaugh, they seem to be saying, at least to a point, the same stuff you are? Well, here's the difference. These guys... the Bible says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. You've quoted many times that quote from Mark Twain about what a true patriot is. And the thing is, these guys, as far as I'm concerned, they're not true patriots. I believe, like you said, that Beck's an operative. Limbaugh's just a poster boy for the neocons. But these guys have too much to lose monetarily and positionally, whereas you're doing this because you're just an American and a patriot that's standing for what you believe and know is right. And I'll tell you something, Alex. I had a guy about a month ago, I was talking about this stuff, and he says, well, I'm just one guy. What can one guy do? But I thought, well, I know of one guy in Austin, Texas, and he's done a whole bunch. And I know you're not the only one, but I'll tell you something. From what I've seen, and I've been on board with this for, 10 years or so now, for as far as exposing the New World Order and what they're about, I don't know of anybody. There's others out there, but you, as far as I'm concerned, are the most passionate about this and fighting this cause of liberty against the globalists and what
Steve, I appreciate the kind words. I'm going to move on to other folks because phone system was down the first hour and a half, and I want to get to everybody. But why do I have the big foundations attacking me? Why do I have the mainstream media attacking me? Why do I have the alternative media attacking me? A lot of them are government paid for. But they're getting ready to shut down even the mainline opposition of talk radio, and they've introduced the bills to do it. So, if they can do it with those guys, they can do it with everybody. This is serious. They're talking about a new code the feds are going to run over media. We've got to say no. Let's talk to Darren in Ireland. Darren, I would have gone to you earlier. I saw you were calling in from great old Ireland. Welcome, Darren.
Hello, Alex Jones. I'm a huge fan, and thanks for taking my call. I know it's late here in Ireland, but I really have to get through. I have some urgent news on the Lisbon Treaty. It's in October, and the propaganda is going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, for those that don't know, then I'll have you comment on it. You guys have said no repeatedly, so has England, to the Lisbon Treaty. They let a few countries, France and one other, vote on it. They said no, and they say, we don't care. We're going to keep trying to pass it till you pass it, or we'll just have the bureaucracy fold you into Europe whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. We've been fighting this fight for the past 600 to 700 years, and our constitution is only 72 years old.
Well, take here. They won't even tell us we're officially under a North American Union since March 24th, 2005. The treaty's now public, and the average yuppie just sucks their thumb all day with pleasure.
I know, Alex. It's crazy, and I would like to come on maybe in the future and discuss the Lisbon Treaty before it comes.
Is this one of the guys from We Are Change Ireland?
Yes, I am, and I wanted to discuss the relationship between Ireland and the United States of the revolution that spread to Ireland. And which
this is Darren, I forget your last name. You're one of the founders of We Are Change. You're a filmmaker, too. What's your last name?
McNeilis. It's Scottish.
Yeah. Okay, so you're... well, then who are the We Are Change from Ireland guys I've had on? One of them's named Darren as well. But you're Scottish living in Ireland.
Well, no, I'm actually just the second name Scottish. Actually, I'm fully Irish anyway.
Okay, whatever. Okay, but haven't I had you on before?
No, I was on the Jason Burma show twice. Maybe if you could.
Okay. Well, look. I'm going to put you on hold. Send us your info. Okay. Speaking of Burmas, he's coming up for 3 hours at Infowars.com. Yes, we need to get all the We Are Change guys, Ireland and UK and Scotland, on to talk about fighting the globalist. We're defending our sovereignty. You go, well, world government's the next step. Even if you're for world government, the world government being set up is a tyrannical, authoritarian system. Let's talk to Joe in Illinois. Joe, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex. Pleasure to talk to you. I just wanted to connect a few dots for you on the Federal Reserve. We've been attacked by the numbers, 9/11, and with the Dow dropping down and bottoming out at 6,660. You know yourself that the Satanists are definitely pulling some strings there. Correct?
3/11 in Madrid, 7/7 in England. They're obsessed with numerology.
All right. If you take 1913, December 23rd, and run it on, say, a 99-year lease, which is the favorite government time block for any lease or ownership, you come up right at the Mayan doomsday. So just thought you'd appreciate that.
Wait a minute, 99 years goes to 2012?
Correct.
I guess that's true. What is it, December 23rd, 24th, they pass it at midnight, 1913 Federal Reserve Act, handing us over to private offshore banks. The 99 years would end in 2012.
Right. So we might be looking at a bank holiday then. We might be looking at the Amero. It's hard to tell how these guys are going to play it, but you can bet they're going to do something.
All right, I appreciate your call. Thank you so much. By the way, I keep getting calls and emails from listeners thinking that we're timing what's behind us on this TV screen at prisonplanet.tv for what we're talking about. No, these are all the headlines of the last year and a half at Infowars.com. They just imported that, and I think it's kind of interesting. We're going to mix some other stuff into that as well, but that's a slideshow of past stories. Though sometimes I'll be talking about flu, and that's what pops up behind me, but it's not a... People are like, why did that pop up when he said that? Let's see what comes up next. Missouri Democrat, poor to irresponsible to exercise Second Amendment. The type of crazy articles. That was about a month ago. Here's another headline. No room for info warriors in YouTube's Hulazized universe. Yes, another blast from the past. Let's take another call quickly. Bill in Texas, go ahead.
Alex, I just want to know one thing. I have school-age children, and I want to know how I can keep them from getting the swine flu shot without going to jail.
Tell them back in 76, the trials killed a bunch of people. Other flu trials in Europe just killed a bunch of people. That's in mainstream news, though they sweep it under the rug and deny it. And it's your right. And if the flu starts breaking out really bad, and it is some bad flu, keep them home. It's better they miss a month of school than be 6 feet under. And I know this. My children are homeschooled. Go ahead.
But how do I keep them going to jail?
Well, they can say under level 6 Now they're saying, oh, we go to level 7 now. 6.2 is what we're at. So they keep trying to raise the fear-mongering. It's like Spinal Tap, where he goes, why not just have all the dials go to 10? He goes, but it's 11. So they've now had the dials go to 11, 6.2. They're not going to be able to enforce this on everybody. They just want to set the precedent and fearmonger. People are already standing up to them. Plus, you have a religious exemption, conscientious exemption in every state and every major country. God bless you, sir. We're out of time. I had a bunch of flu news I actually meant to get to. But regardless, I'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon, and back next Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Great job to all the affiliates, all the stations, to Paul Hartman in there running things. God bless you.